You guys are absolutely sleeping on like supermarket sushi, and I know that sounds insane, but it's just so good. So a lot of supermarkets, actually I've only ever seen Woolies do it, and maybe like I think Harris Farm does it as well. I'm not sure about Coles and definitely not Aldi, but they make their sushi in-house. Like they make it fresh, and then there's like a little sushi bar, and it's so good. So I got this from Woolies. It was a Woolies Metro, and there are, I don't know if you can see that, 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4. So there are 9 pieces of sushi, and it was $12.90, which I think is a really good deal. It's like $1 something per piece, which is so much less than what you would pay if you were to buy it like individually. So my tip is to go and get it at around 11 a.m. I think is the most ideal time, because they start making it, I want to say around 8 9, and then they'll have their full range around 11. If you go in the afternoon, it sometimes has been sitting there for a while, and some of the containers are a bit older and like the rice is a bit cold, but 11 a.m. maybe 12 is like the perfect time to get it. I love it so much. Comes with a reduced salt packet of soy sauce, which is the same brand as the sushi, called Sushi Izu. Okay, there is a bug flying around right now, and I want to say that it hasn't flown out of my sushi because I'll be very upset if it has, but I'll probably still eat it. It comes with a little thing of wasabi, which I usually don't have, and then ginger, which I usually also don't have, but sometimes. It's good. It's just nigiri basically with seared salmon and this like, I don't know, teriyaki sauce or something else on top. And then this one looks like a teriyaki chicken with cucumber and a little bit of avocado, topped with like 2 or 3 different sauces, and then fried onions. Sometimes I wonder like how these supermarkets decide what to invest in. Remember when like Coles and Woolworths branded petrol stations first came out, and they were like limited time only, and yeah, it's been permanent. It's been like over 10 years, they still have it. But as they were building them, I was like, I remember thinking as a kid, like as if you would build a petrol station if it was a limited time only. Crazy. But yeah, they now have like roast chickens, which I feel like they didn't maybe 15 years ago. They have sushi bars and just so many random things. And I wonder how they decide like what to do. Question, do you guys like Coles or Woolies better? I used to be a Coles girly because when I started getting into grocery shopping, I wanted to be a nutritionist for quite a while when I was younger. And when I wanted to be a nutritionist, I was really into food, loved food technology, loved like going to the supermarket and like reading all the labels, looking at the fresh produce. And while I was getting into that, we only had a Coles in our like local plaza. And then later on they opened a Woolies, and that Woolies is so much better than the Coles. It's like so much bigger, like so many more products. The Coles is like old, a little bit dilapidated. And so I've really like changed over the years, but I used to be a Coles girly through and through. That being said though, I still really like Coles. I like the rewards program, like the flybys, and I don't actually have the Woolies rewards program yet. But my local supermarket is now a Woolies Metro, so I might have to. Hey guys, this has turned into like a whole day of eating takeaway. I don't normally eat out this much, I promise. I usually go to restaurants with like friends or family or my boyfriend because I like the experience of dining out with someone. Whereas takeaway, I feel like you just buy out of convenience, especially when you eat it by yourself. So I really don't like takeaway, but today it just happened. It's Thursday night and we just don't really have any groceries left in the fridge. Worked until like 6, and then I had an eyebrow appointment, which I will create a video about. I look a little bit crazy right now because they've just been tinted, but I actually really like the way she waxed it, and I like the way she laminated them as well. So I will show you that. That'll probably be like a TikTok video. I'm gonna link it down below. She's based in Surrey Hills. She's actually pretty good. But yeah, this is my Zambrero order. I was tossing up between a wrap from KFC because I know we have like, I think 1 thing of bok choy left. So I was gonna potentially have a wrap from KFC and that, but the line was too long, so I went to Zambrero instead, and I got myself a burrito bowl. It is the chicken burrito bowl with chipotle dressing and guac and a little bit of jalapenos. I'm actually gonna get a knife to cut my jalapenos. Fun fact, you know how like apparently in America they do it differently. I don't know if this is true or just like fake news, but in Australia you have your knife in your right hand and your fork in your left. When I was younger, this just seemed more intuitive to me. I don't know why, because like with a knife, I think you're just cutting, you're just going like a back and forth motion. And then some people say with a fork, you just like stab it and then pick it up. But sometimes you need to, if you're cutting a piece of meat off a bone and it's not falling off the bone, the knife just cuts, but the fork, you need to like maneuver it. You need to hold it down in a certain way so that your knife doesn't slip, so you can actually get the meat off, right? I don't know. In my mind, it made sense. I don't know if you can get brown rice, but I feel like brown rice is usually nicer. I feel like I would have had this with brown rice before. This is nice. It's like a little personal kind of, I feel like I'm live streaming, but it's not in real time, and I'm having dinner with my friends. I've barely seen Dave this weekend. Like my friends came over last night and I hosted them for the first time here, and we just had like girl dinner and some wine. And one of them asked like, how long do you spend with Dave every day? Like not including sleeping hours. And I was like, we're probably both home and like awake, maybe 4 hours a day. And then she asked me, how long do you spend with him each day when you're like actually interacting and like he's not working basically? And I was like, maybe 45 minutes. But it's not like 45 minutes of like D&Ms and chats, right? It's like 45 minutes, he might be taking a shower, or I might be like, I don't know, washing dishes or something. And I'm a quality time girly, so this is really hard for me. This weekend, I'm hoping to spend a little bit more time with him and also with my family. I have to go visit my grandma. I haven't seen her in a while. And then like my other set of grandparents as well. They're actually pretty close together. They're like a 15-minute drive away now, so that's pretty good. And then, I don't know, do a grocery shop. He's got football on Saturday, so we'll try to coordinate that so I can drive the car in the morning and he can drive it in the afternoon. Yeah, how often do you think is like the right frequency to see your family? Because I have so much family in Australia and I know that's a massive blessing, but now that we've moved, I'm further away from everyone and it takes me like 45 minutes to drive to my parents' house. And then my mum's parents live with my auntie and uncle, and then that's like an extra 15 minutes from like my parents' place. And if I'm gonna go that way, I may as well go visit them. And then my dad's mum, sometimes she stays with my parents. She's moving to Australia permanently in a couple of years. She's from New Zealand. So basically, as a New Zealand citizen, I don't know if it's everyone or like if you have to fit a certain criteria, but I think it's like over the next 2 years, she needs to spend like 1 year here or something like that. And then there are rules around like the length of time, like how long they have to be, whether they have to be in blocks. And I think for the final X number of months, she has to be here. If she does that, she becomes an Australian citizen. So like her home is still technically in New Zealand, but in 2 years it'll be here. So she's kind of back and forth a little bit. Anyway, so sometimes she stays with my parents, which is good and like convenient for me. And sometimes she stays with my auntie and uncle. So it's like her other kid and her husband. And then when she does that, it's like an extra visit. And like, I don't know if you guys are ethnic, but I feel like a lot of Chinese families are like, you know, when you come, we want to feed you and we want you to stay for hours and hours and hours. And I'm so grateful, but I just can't spend 4 hours visiting each part of the family every week. And I feel bad as well because like Dave only has his parents here and we don't visit them every week. So I don't want to drag him around to visit my family every week. But sometimes I feel like it's the right thing to do to go and see them, especially because my grandma's quite old and a bit frail. Sombrero, I don't know if you can hear the fireworks outside, but I swear Sombrero used to be like chicken, like puree. It wasn't even minced, it was like puree. It was like soft. It was a good flavor, but the texture was weird. And now it's like proper pieces of chicken and you can see grill marks in it. I also have to show you guys something. There is a brand called La Her, and they primarily do engagement rings, but they've started to do like just fine jewelry. And let me tell you, I love jewelry. Don't have a lot of expensive jewelry, and most of my more expensive jewelry have been gifts because I don't want to spend that money. This is so beautiful. So stunning. The way they send it to you is like amazing as well. It came in a canvas bag that was the size of this box. And so then you take this out. When you take the ring box out, it says good luck, which I thought was super cute. And then you take this little insert out, and underneath there's like, I don't know if it's like specific to my order, but there is a beautiful note, and like look at the quality of this paper. It's just amazing. And yeah, it's like a note from Her. And then I didn't even notice this. Underneath is a certificate, and it says like, it certifies the authentic production of the piece of jewelry, and it also has the different number of carats, and then there's platinum, so it's like the carat of the gold. I feel like with fine jewelry, sometimes you don't want to order online because the experience of going into a store and having them put your purchase in like a beautiful bag and tie it up with a bow is so special. But some companies just do the unboxing experience so well, and Her is definitely one of them. Let me tell you about the ring. It's the split round and pear champagne ring with the center stone removed. It's made from 14 karat yellow gold. Some people are like 14 karat's not good, but honestly I don't like it when my yellow gold is too yellow, and sometimes I think these bracelets are too yellow. I don't know if you can see that. So the lighting's a bit yellow in here, but this is like a good shade of yellow in my opinion. Got it to fit this finger on my right hand because I'm very much not engaged. If you can see that, but there are 2 pair diamonds on either side, and then there are 2 like round diamonds on each side. So there are 4 round diamonds in total, and then 2 pair diamonds. Together they form like little triangles on either side. It's not a brilliant white like this one, for example, but I think the fact that they're champagne, it just gives it like an antique-y kind of like old school look. It's really something I imagine I am gonna pass down to my daughters or granddaughters someday, like true family heirloom. The ring itself is like quite thick, especially at the base. It's a little bit thicker at the base than it is around the sides. And it's very heavy, very sturdy. I'll take it off. That's the width of it kind of down the sides, the 2 sides. And then at the bottom, it's a little bit thicker. I feel like this ring fits on my left ring finger better when it's hot, and then when it's cold, it fits better on this, which is kind of how I like these rings to fit. It's such a cool brand as well. It's a small, I think it's family owned. Their workshop and their office are in Marrickville, and they make it there themselves. And apparently they told me that they've got a 3D printer, so if I want to go and design a piece of jewelry, I should go. I actually got this necklace custom made for my birthday as well. Not from Her, from somewhere else, but the experience of custom making a piece of jewelry is just so special. And I really want to do it again.